Tonight on Pitchforks and Guillotines, we cover the news of the last week. We take a look at the top artwork of the pedophile elite and an interview with Bibi Netanyahu. And now, Pitchforks and Guillotines. Welcome to the show, everyone. This is Pitchforks and Guillotines. Let's get into the news. Our first story, Bibi Netanyahu was interviewed by a goblin and was asked if Israel had anything to do with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Here's what he had to say. That's insane. Israel also changes the orbit of the moon. Israel pushes the sun. He went on to say, we were poisoning the wells. We were drinking the blood of Christian children. After the interview, the goblin returned to her home in Dustwallow Marsh, and we will, of course, have a few more questions for Bibi Netanyahu when we interview him later in the episode. Shortly after Charlie Kirk's assassination, the Senate decided to vote on the release of the Epstein files and blocked its release. The only two Republicans to vote for the release, Josh Hawley and Rand Paul. Not really much of a joke here. I don't wish to be ruled by pedophile elites. I wish they'd release the files. George Zinn, international man of mystery. George Zinn, 71-year-old political agitator, admitted to falsely shooting Charlie Kirk and was detained shortly thereafter. He is a known political agitator who has been active since the 1980s and has been described as slightly odd and a political gadfly. You can see him pictured here on the bottom, and if we look at his Wikipedia, we can look into his early life and see that George Zinn was born a merchant. No further questions here, Your Honor. The UK had a protest last Saturday, and 100,000 people showed up to protest the migration into the United Kingdom. Again, I don't really have a joke for this one. I just want to show solidarity with my UK brothers and sisters. Godspeed. Charlie Kirk was assassinated on September 10th. I was not a follower of Charlie Kirk. I did not keep up with his videos, nor have I ever visited the Turning Point website. When I had seen him in years prior, I just thought he was a generic conservative that was young and clean-cut. A little treat for the boomers that could imagine their own grandson following in their politics. Charlie Kirk was not an extremist to my knowledge. He held the same views as the Democrat Party of the 90s. This man's crime was simply engaging the youth of America, engaging them on their turf, college campuses. That is not for the weak of heart. Debating hostile Zoomers about abortion, trans ideology, guns rights. I have no doubt he received countless death threats against his own life and his family's lives over the years for his milquetoast opinions. I will not sit here and say that political violence has no place in America. It is naive, and unfortunately, our very country was founded by strong-headed white Christian men executing political violence on their perceived oppressors. But I don't believe we are at the point of raising arms against the government, politicians and pundits, the liars in the media, or the lost and misguided citizenry that may be at odds with your personal political beliefs. Although the circus sucks and the bread is stale, we still have both to an extent. We must look to Jesus Christ to guide us through this aftermath. If you felt anything from last week, from a brief moment of sadness to a full-on crash out on why this kind-hearted father and husband was assassinated in front of his family, then you are on my side. I do not care for these left and right labels, if I ever did at all. There are no Republicans, there are no Democrats. There is simply good and there is evil. Even if we disagree on policy points, good people can discuss and debate and analyze and calculate. They can come to an agreement on how to try things. Maybe it doesn't work and we can try another process down the line, but we must be able to discuss rationally and reasonably. Good must come together and unite against evil. Find a church, volunteer at an animal shelter, donate to the charities that benefit American children. You will find other good people in your community. You can make a difference. There are no quick fixes. Sure, we can retaliate 10 times harder. We all have the guns. We have the training in killing. But we have restraint. We have Jesus. We have the moral high ground for whatever that's worth. Less and less each day, probably. But nonetheless, we still stand high upon it. But we must go through the struggle. That is what it's all about. How do you react when the chips are down? Do you go for the easy victory, but lose your soul in the process? No, we persevere. We overcome. We offer compassion to the weak and mercy to our enemies. This does not mean capitulation. If our enemies show no remorse for their misdeeds, hand them a Bible and exile them. People that hold evil in their hearts should not be teaching our country's youth in our schools. They should not be serving food to our communities. They should not be in any city or county office. They need to be humbled. This next segment brought to you by Coom Meetings. Coom Meetings, because no one can see what happens from the waist down. So excited to have our next guest with us, joining us on the program, the Prime Minister of Israel, Bibi Netanyahu. Bibi, it's a pleasure to have you here. Let me start out by asking, why are so many people blaming Israel for Charlie Kirk's death?
Well, I would have to say anti-Semitism, plain and simple. All of the world's great ills are caused by anti-Semitism. Israel is blamed for everything. The JFK assassination, the sinking of the USS Liberty, orchestrating 9/11, owning the porn industry, controlling U.S. congressmen and senators via AIPAC funding. You name it, it happens. They blame Israel.
Yeah, well, I guess I really don't know why Israel gets so many accusations lobbed against it. But anyway, moving on. I recently heard in an interview that Israel can now control the orbit of the moon. Can you speak a little bit on that, please?
Well, for many years now, we have been controlling the weather using our space lasers to commit various atrocities. But this is really special. Now that we can control the orbit of the moon, we are planning to turn the fertile soil of Ukraine into a lavish farmland where we can raise enough cattle to find a red heifer and... wait a minute, you sneaky goy. You almost make me reveal our master plan.
Well, hopefully you can make those northern U.S. winters a little warmer while you're at it. Am I right? Well, anyway, switching topics, let me ask you this. What are your plans after you finish your genocide in Gaza? Vacation with family? Some time off, perhaps?
Well, funny you should mention. I am a big fan of Mickey Mouse, so we are going to Disney Worlds to celebrate the suffering of children in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it should be an exciting time.
Oh, how fun. What's your favorite ride?
Well, personally, I love It's a Small World. I like to check to make sure no one is looking. And then I drop my pants and I piss on all the children of the world as I float by. What fun.
Well, that took a dark turn there, Prime Minister. One last question for you. Tom Artyom Alexandrovich, the Israeli state official who was recently arrested for sex crime charges in Las Vegas, will he be returning to the U.S. to face charges?
Well, as you know, Israel is a non-extradition country, and over the years we have had several high-profile sex criminals flee to Israel, never to face trial in America. So I guess to answer your question, I will say maybe.
Oh, man, thank you so much, Bibi. That was a great interview. I hope you'll join me again sometime in the future. And we'll talk to you soon, okay? The top artwork of the pedophile elite that rule over you. Well, this is going to be a great segment that's not creepy or disturbing at all. We've found some artwork on the dark corners of the internet that belongs to some of the Washington elite, shall we say. Let's start right off with this beautiful rendition. Looks like we got some nice purple men and ladies, maybe right here, dangling a child. Not creepy. What do we got next? So we know this classic image from Jeffrey Epstein's private collection. I believe this is also from his collection. I believe these represent the towers down here. Some block towers with some paper airplanes. Not sure if I'm smart enough to read between the lines on that one. Oh, this is precious. Just the color usage and I just am blown away by just, this is amazing. This is simply amazing. Now, this does not appear menacing at all. Completely normal. I mean, this is fine. What could be going on here? There seems to be a figure on the bed with another figure on top of it. Some other figures maybe holding its arms and legs down. This is just completely normal. The politicians and the lobbyists that live in Washington, D.C. Yeah, this is great. This is nice. I wish I could just get some stuff like this for my own home. An artwork like this is not going to get you in trouble if you have that on your computer, I imagine. This is just perfectly normal and... what is this, like a snake-tongued penis, or what is actually going on here? Again, this is just... Who wouldn't want to have this in their house? You could put this at the library, really. Or dentist office. Yeah, I would just put this right in the waiting room of the doctor's office. Like, no problem. Pediatrician. This is great. This is, just, again, nothing wrong with these kind of images here. Nothing creepy or disturbing. This is normal. This looks to be an important man, perhaps, in the media. He's just got a nice little statue or cardboard cutout over there. That looks completely normal. And who's this jolly fellow over here with the gold headless person that's in a very compromising position? What do we have next? Oh, well, this is just from my personal collection. We'll just never mind that. Oh, I deeply apologize. Another one from the archives. Nothing to see here. Kim Noble is an artist of many of those paintings that we just watched and looked at. This is what stands out to me when I briefly looked her up today. Dissociative identity disorder. She is most likely an MK Ultra victim. And those paintings are probably, some of them are probably from her own personal experience that happened to her. What is strange, if you click on this link to her website, it will bring you to this just strange website. And this is the landing page, and you can purchase something. It's all in a different language that I did not have time to look up or look into very deeply. I will in the future. I plan on it. But this is creepy. Deserves further investigation for sure. Everyone, thank you so much for sticking with me. I wanted to do this show. I've been planning on it for a little while. And then Charlie Kirk was gunned down, and I decided I had to kind of jump the gun a little bit and get it out there. A lot of things aren't perfect. I'm not happy with much of the setup, but hey, we're going to do our best. See you next time.